Have you ever had your hand fall asleep and you wonder why that is? Oh, it's because I slept funny. My body was laying on my hand and it was cutting circulation. That actually is not exactly true to a degree. Yes. Have you ever wrapped something tightly around your finger like a string and you block circulation to your fingertip? What typically happens to your fingertip is it swells and it turns purple. If you completely cut blood supply to and from, blood's not going to an area, it gets really cold and really pale. So it either will turn purple and swell, or it'll turn cold and look pale. But that doesn't happen. It just goes numb. And when you shake it and move it, the feeling starts to come back. You almost get this pins and needles sensation. Well, the truth is, you're actually cutting nerve supply to that hand. You go, I thought nerves communicate from the hand to the brain. Well, yeah, and also from the brain to the hand, but sensation is from the hand to the brain. So you go, well, then why does it go numb if we cut that? Because your brain is constantly in communication with every body part that you have. That's called afferent input. The brain is like this overprotective mother. The brain is always going, where's my kid? Where's my kid? Where's my other kid? And constantly surveying. That's why right now, watching this video, you don't have to look down at your knee to tell me if your knee is bent or straight. There's probably an impulse or a signal that travels up the nerve to your brain every second, or sometimes a few per second. Now, every time you move that leg, now it's hundreds, maybe thousands of impulses per second going up to the brain. If you press on that nerve, that input to the brain stops. Instantly, your brain goes, I haven't heard anything from my foot in over 20 seconds, in over 30 seconds. Something's wrong with the foot. And that's when you experience the numbness. So then the brain, because it wants to feel more information from the foot, it makes the nerves hypersensitive. All of a sudden, light touch feels like pins and needles because the brain really wants to hear from that foot. Well, that's called paresthesia. That's when the nerves are hypersensitive and they're coming back. Now, when you move it, signals go to the brain. Or when you rub it or touch it, signals go to the brain. The brain goes, oh, there's my foot. It's still attached. Everything's okay. And then it normalizes those nerve endings. What about the hand? Like when I lie on my hand, it falls asleep. Yes. But there's a bigger problem to that. If you wake up in the middle of the night and your hand has fallen asleep, there's a mechanism in your brain that tells your body to move without waking you up. You should never, in a healthy body, wake up with your hand numb. There is one situation where it's not an abnormal thing. If your hand falls asleep, you wake up with your hand numb, and that's when you've been drinking. See, when you're drinking, that mechanism shuts off. And then you fall asleep with your, hand under your head, and you wake up and your whole arm is numb. That sometimes takes hours till a couple of days before you regain function of your arm. Why does that happen? A lot of times it's because of a neck issue. So you've got something in your neck, and you put your head on a pillow, that pressure on the nerve in the neck that controls your arm, that's what's being pressed, and that's why the hand falls asleep at night. And that's something that should be looked at, because if you don't take care of it, eventually it becomes numb, even when you're on a computer typing or writing or doing other things. Like when your hands are on a steering wheel and driving, then your hand starts to go numb there, and it just continues to get worse. That numbness becomes weakness later. Kind of like carpal tunnel, when there's pressure on the median nerve in your wrist, the hand can get weak and your grip strength starts to fade. Same thing happens when there's nerve pressure in your neck. How do you fix that? If your hand's falling asleep at night, your foot's falling asleep at night, or during the day, or at times where you're not doing things that would compress the nerve to that foot intentionally or accidentally, and it doesn't come back, or it happens frequently, you really should get seen by a chiropractor. You should have some x-rays of your spine done in a weight-bearing position to see if there's disc narrowing or bone spur formation. Now, we did another video called Why Did I Get a Bone Spur and what to do about bone spurs. Definitely check out that video. For the purpose of this, you need to understand if the alignment of your neck is incorrect, it will lead to disc bulges, degenerative changes, bone spurs, and arthritis, which can cause permanent nerve interference and can lead to surgery. I hope this was helpful. Take care. God bless. Like the video, comment so we can interact, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.